Hello, viewers, and once again, welcome to Healthy Wrinkles, a channel devoted for the healthcare of elderly citizens and also very useful for their family members. Today, we are glad to welcome once again Dr. Nilesh Shah. Dr. Nilesh Shah is a leading psychiatrist, very experienced psychiatrist, and has been working over 3 decades at SAN Hospital. So, welcome, Dr. Nilesh Shah, once again.
Thank you very much.
Today, we are going to discuss with Dr. Shah about dementia, memory loss, or हम जो कहते हैं भूल जाना, भुलक्कड़. These are all different names. So, doctor, what is dementia is all about, and I mean, what has it has got any relevance with the age?
Yeah. So basically, dementia is a disorder. It's an illness. So what happens that our brain is working throughout our life, but at some point in time, our capacity of our brain gradually declines. So it does not work as efficiently as it has been working throughout our life. So because of that, see, as our age increases, as we grow older, some of our organs do not function to their optimum level. Say some people develop kidney diseases, some people develop disorders of liver. Similarly, some people develop disorders of brain. And one of the common disorder of brain is called dementia, where the ability of the brain functions gradually decline. Now, as we know, functions of brain, as common people we know, we require brain for our attention concentration, for our memory, for our speech, language, calculation, visuospatial orientation, what we call executive functions like judgment or problem solving or reasoning, logic, etc., etc. So for this variety of functions, the brain is required. Brain is like a computer, and if it starts failing, that means it is not able to do all these functions in optimally. Then we say that brain is not functioning well, and that is dementia.
Okay. And doctor, typically, from elderly age group perspective, I'm asking this question. What type of memory loss happens? Like, is it like, your immediate short memory will get lost, or maybe your long-term memory will get lost, or there is any selectivity, or how does it happen? Like,
Yeah. So when the dementia starts in the beginning, it's a loss of recent event memory. So when the patient comes to me, I ask him, suppose he comes to me at this time, at in the evening at around 7 o'clock, I ask him, what did you have for your breakfast in the morning today? Now, most of us will remember that I had cornflakes in the breakfast or had a milk and tea in the morning. But people with dementia will tend to forget. So they might guess that I had something in the morning, I had breakfast, but I don't remember exactly what that person had. Similarly, if I ask him, what did you have for your lunch? Suppose he had 5 items for lunch, he may not remember all 5 items. He might be able to recall only one or two, or he might require some clues to remember the things. So these are the recent events which has happened. Like, we don't make any attempts to remember what did we eat for our breakfast, or we don't note down anywhere. Similarly, we don't make any attempts to remember what did I have for my lunch. It is automatic memory. That means that event, when it occurs, automatically it gets registered and stored in our memory. So this is what we call recent memory, event related memory. Similarly, whom did you meet yesterday? What festival did you celebrate last week? Now, these are the things which automatically we will remember. But people who develop dementia in the beginning, they will start forgetting these recent events. So basically, recent memory, they might remember what has happened 50 years back. So at the age of 60, 70, 75, they might say, I was going to this school and we had this teacher and we had gone for this picnic, and after marriage, we had gone for the honeymoon at such and such place. Long-term memory will be well preserved. But day-to-day recent memory will be affected. So if they have taken the food, after a while, after 1 or 2 hours, they said, oh, I did not have my lunch today. Why did you not give me lunch? And the relatives will say, Arey, you had your lunch. And he will not be able to recall that he had lunch.
So, doctor, given this, this is early stage, what you're saying, dementia, when you start losing the recent memories. What is the time when a caregiver or a family member, or even the person himself or herself, should seek medical advice?
Yeah. Now, it is very, very important that they seek medical advice as early as possible. Now, this is because for most of the types of dementia, the most common type of dementia is what we call Alzheimer's dementia, and many other similar dementias which occur because of degeneration of the brain tissue. We do not have any treatment. But there are some dementias which are reversible, for which we have treatment. Say, for example, nutritional deficiency dementias. So somebody has B12 deficiency, and as a result, he is not remembering. We can replace B12, we can give him lots of B12, and his memory will recover. Similarly, hypothyroidism related dementia, or head injury or subdural hematoma, blood clots in the brain related dementia, it can be treated. Or there is one particular type of dementia which is called as normal pressure hydrocephalus, NPH. So we can do some operation and we can prevent the further deterioration. So see, out of 100, about 10% of the dementia may be reversible dementias. So if we investigate the patient early enough, and if we find that there is some reversible cause for the dementia, we can really help that person. That is number one. Second, many times relatives feel that ye janbujh ke kar raha hai, means he is doing it purposely. Now, person, suppose he does not remember where he has kept his ornaments, and he tries to find and he doesn't find his ornament, and then he blames somebody that somebody has stolen my ornament. Now, actually, it is because of dementia. His intention is not to blame somebody, but because he has forgotten, he is not able to recall, or he might have taken money from somebody and now he doesn't remember. So he is not doing this purposely, but because of dementia, it is happening. It can cause further problems, interpersonal problems. So if as soon as the people have memory disturbances, and particularly disturbances of recent memory, it is better that they consult a doctor, get him investigated. We do certain tests and try to find out if there is a reversible cause. We can start treatment, or at least we can do counseling. And there are some medicines which can slow down the progress of dementia, and secondary problems can be prevented.
Are there any brain activities, or just like we do yogas or physiotherapy, is there anything can be done for brain so as to sort of preserve whatever we have?
Yes, why not? See, if you want to build up your muscles, you do physical exercises, and when you do the physical exercises, you build up your muscles and stamina. Similarly, we recommend cognitive exercises. So if you do cognitive exercises, your brain cell connections, connectivity increases, improves, and then your cognitive reserve increases. So if you have a good cognitive reserve, you get less affected by dementia. Say, for example, I have a good savings in the bank, and now there is a recession. I can fall back upon my saving in the bank and I'll be less affected. But if I don't have any saving in the bank, then I'll be more affected than the other person who has good saving in the bank. So this is what we call cognitive reserve. So if I do cognitive exercises every day, my brain functioning is better, my brain connectivity is better. And when I develop dementia, I am less affected than the other people.
Oh, understood, doctor. So, doctor, typically you recommend those exercises, and just like a physiotherapist, someone else can administer those exercises, or patient or family member can do it on their own, or like how does it is done on a daily basis?
Yeah, I asked this question to many people. Is walking a cognitive exercise? And the answer is no. See, walking is a physical exercise. It will build up your muscles. It will give good exercise to your heart. But it's a mechanical exercise. And after a while, no new connections in the brain will be formed because you are walking since your childhood. So no new connections are formed. So you have to do something new, something different, something novel, for which new connections will be formed. Say, for example, you learn a new dance form. So instead of walking, you do a dance, and each dance has a different steps. So that forms new connections. Similarly, if you learn a new language, say suppose I decide to learn Chinese, Ni Hao, then I am stimulating my brain and I am making something new. New connections are formed. Suppose I learn to play some new instrument, or I do Sudoku or crossword puzzle. Now, crossword puzzle, there are thousands of words, millions of words. So every time a new word, I'm learning something new, something different, problem solving. So those kind of exercise, if I do, which stimulates the brain, where I have to scratch my brain, so oh, how do I solve this problem? Then new connections are formed, something new learning is done, and these are called cognitive exercises. Now, these cognitive exercises which I have recommended, there are a number of programs on the computer you can download, where you can play the games, these video games and other games. They are also cognitive exercises, and you don't have to do it for very long hours. Even 15 minutes of daily cognitive exercises 3 times a week is good enough for your brain to have a good cognitive exercises.
I think wonderful. That is something everyone now, with the access to the mobile phone and smartphones, potentially everyone can probably do those exercises for a small period of time every day.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor, once again.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.